this is my cell communication project. Acromegaly is the overproduction of growth hormone in the body.
Some dangers of acromegaly are vision issues, joint aches, and an increase in insulin levels, which is similar to diabetes.
To understand how this happens, we must first go through the normal cell growth pathway. Normal growth first occurs in the brain. This happens in the hypothalamus, in which there is a cell called the somatotroph. Over multiple short periods of time, the brain will release growth hormone-releasing hormone. This hormone will stimulate the somatotroph and resulting into the growth hormone.
When it comes to the growth pathway, the ligand typically binds to muscle cells, bone cells, and connective tissue cells, since these are the parts of you that grow.
After growth hormone is released, this will bind to a target organ. The ligand will now bind to the tyrosine receptor Janus kinase, otherwise known as JAK. The resulting binding will lead to the phosphorylation of the existing amino acids within the target organ. This phosphorylation will activate something called STAT. STAT is known as signal transducer activator transcription. STAT will translate the existing gene sequence into mRNA. These mRNA copies are given to ribosomes, which then translate the mRNA into certain proteins. This protein is known as insulin growth factor type 1.
Insulin growth factor 1 is the secondary messenger which relays signals throughout the cell pathway.
IGF type 1 will then bind to the muscle cell and through phosphorylation cascades will develop new proteins. More proteins leads to more growth in the body, and this leads to human growth. So what's the difference in acromegaly? The difference starts in the beginning. At the site of the growth hormone, there will be a non-cancerous tumor.
This tumor will apply physical pressure to the site of where the growth hormone is being produced.
The amount of pressure will lead to a surplus of growth hormone. This high amount of growth hormone will go through the normal cell pathway and lead to abnormal growth in the human body.
However, there are treatments for acromegaly, one of which including the removal of the tumor. Overall, acromegaly is a disease that needs to be understood, and through understanding the normal pathway, we can understand acromegaly.